Well, g'day, thanks for watching. I'm Peter Jennings and my business is Professional Boat Care. We're a boat detailing business, but I also do a lot of guiding along the Queensland coast for my clients. Well, that's handy. There's a hose fitting here now, so gave the trailer a quick rinse, seeing we're 4 days away. Let's go. Yeah, so I'm just back from a trip to Cairns on a client's boat, and my boys are about to go and do a ski season in Canada, so we had a 2-week window. We picked the weather and headed up to Wathumba Creek. Yeah, so we use the creek as a base and fish up along the flats and up towards Rooney Point at the top end of the island, where we target the little black marlin later in the year. But we're a bit early this time. This is early September, so we were hoping to find some tuna and any other pelagics that might be around at this time of year. Yeah, so this is Wathumba Creek, and it's nearly low tide. One of the challenges is lining up the weather with the tides. Ideally you want a high tide in the morning and the afternoon, but of course we've got low tides in the morning and afternoon on this trip. So this is Sam. He's my middle child, and he's got a broken bone in his winding hand, which wasn't ideal, but it wasn't going to let him stop him. So this drone footage gives you a look at the creek at low tide. It's a big winding channel, big S-bend. Look, with a boat like mine, you probably need almost half a tide either side of low tide to get in there. And then we anchor up in behind that northern bank. And this is Jack. He's my eldest boy, and he just got a nice little Just Legal flathead, which he insisted on having as an entree for dinner tonight. Yeah, it's amazing, this place, but it is full of challenges, I've got to say. I'll try and talk a bit more about some of those through this video. The boys have a good time catching these little trevally, catch and release of course. And then once it's bedtime, we end up pulling the stern anchor in, and we sit out in the little channel. But I've got to warn you, on a low in my boat, we actually touch the bottom in the deepest part of that channel. Lovely waking up with that incoming tide. Hey. The water's just gin clear at the top of the tide in the creek. Anyway, it wasn't a rush because we had to wait for the tide to come in a bit. So we had our brekkie, and then we headed out with a plan to go and fish up the top towards Rooney Point for the day. So yeah, the weather's really important up here. It's got to be out of the east basically. Southeast around to the northeast. Anything even the south or the north, and of course anything out of the west. The bay's ugly, you don't want to be there. Coming out of the creek's like a bar, there's almost a surfable wave on it. Hervey Bay is famous for its humpback whales that turn up here. They're here on the way home. They've been up to the Whitsundays for the breeding, and then they often pull up and rest in here with their calves. So we were just minding our own business, idling along, when these ones got a little too close. Anyway, a bit further up towards the point, we found some bait on the sounder. With no little black marlin to target, we thought, let's get some liveys on board and work it out from there. Yeah, the sensible thing might have been to put the anchor down and put some of those liveys back out, but the boys and I have had fun over the years up around the corner of Rooney Point, targeting little tailor on slugs, on light tackle, and we found some. I reckon you got a tailor.
I can't grab it, boys. Like one hand.
Beauties!
Oh, yeah. One deal. Yeah, okay, good.
Mostly too small to keep, to eat, but good sport.
Wind them all.
Anyway, after that we did go back to where we caught the liveys.
Oh no!
Dropped him. Which one did he eat?
This one, the blue book one's gone. I heard this.
Wow, little black marlin just ate one of our liveys. Got 2 jumps out of it. Jumped. A couple of jumps, spat it. Bag. Whoa. Yeah, you broke it. Maybe not. What the heck?
What do we do?
You got a fair bit of weight on it though, haven't you? Oh, we should get him in, I suppose. Dropped it.
No, it's still there.
Could be a big tuna. I'm gonna get around now. Yeah. Getting it out. Get it under the light. How's that? Yeah, good.
We've scored already.
I think it's another tuna. It's going to survive the big run. How's that broken hand? Starting to win?
Yeah.
So while Jack was trying to prepare lunch, Sam was battling out a pinwheeling tuna. Getting his tip down low so he can get under the prop.
Yeah, that's what you do. He's lower than... Got it.
Oh,
Let's see. Yeah, so what a thrill. Both of them getting a nice long tail. Jack processing them and getting them into the fridge as quickly as he can.
Alright. Looking for a big shark.
It's time for a bit of shark fishing.
There? Yeah.
need the harness on.
Is he gone? Yeah, put it in the rod holder if you want.
Yeah, so this is fun we've had ever since they're little boys. It's been a thrill catching big sharks. When they were very little we couldn't put them in a harness, of course. But it is good fun catching and releasing these things.
This is an action-packed day. It's bad luck. Go again, eh?
Yeah.
So we were having so much fun and the weather was dropping out. We just thought, let's take the risk and not go back to the creek. Because of course, once it was low tide, we couldn't get in anyway until about 9 o'clock tonight. So we said, let's stay at Rooney Point and hope we don't get a sou'wester develop in the middle of the night, which would make it very uncomfortable. Yeah, magic afternoon. Fishing went quiet, but we had these 2 tuna carcasses hanging off the transom, and before we knew it, we had some sharks turning up.
When do I go up?
Bring it up. That in? Dropped in?
Dropped in.
Sure?
Nope.
There.
He's doing the work.
Dropped in.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, he's big. Wow. He's massive and he's fired up. Here he is. Yeah, shake it. Shake it. Holy. Oh.
He's coming. He's coming in hot.
This is gonna happen pretty quickly. I reckon you should have that harness on. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Three? Oh. Leaving that. Leaving that. Wish it wouldn't go around there. Oh. Right. Oh, those are alive now. It's wild, isn't it? Is it a bull? Here he is. Pop him. There's a double. Whoa, look at the weight you got. Here he is. He's definitely, hang on, he's a massive thing. That's a bull, but Jesus big. What's that thing? 10 foot?
Yeah, a bit hard to tell in the video, but that is a 10-foot bull shark. Jack's caught a 10-foot one up there before, which we managed to measure in the shallows before releasing, so you can get a pretty good handle on the size. Anyway, lovely long-tailed tuna, cooked medium rare for dinner. And then after dinner,
Big shark.
we had another shark turn up, which initially I thought was a tiger because it was actually over 10 foot. I'm calling this thing closer to 12 foot. And that's a big call. I've seen a lot of sharks and I haven't seen many that big, to be honest, even big tigers up the reef. Did see one that was close to 14, we think, but this thing was giant. Hard to tell in the video.
That's not a tiger. Look at the length of it. Oh, look out, don't eat my boat.
Yeah, so when I saw it up close like that, I realised it wasn't a tiger. And in fact, it looked like a really big whaler. Beautiful dawn, and it was glassed off all night. We ended up moving in closer into the shallows. The boys weren't that happy about those big sharks circling us while they slept. It was even more crazy. We had big humpbacks coming past and we were just so lucky their peck fins didn't hook up on our anchor line.
Taylor?
Taylor.
Taylor.
So yeah, we went right into the shallows and had breakfast and a swim and a bit of fun with the chopper tailor again.
Cool, release.
So ideal opportunity to crack out the fly rod and see if I can get one on fly. I used to be right into my fly fishing 20-30 years ago. But of course it is the hardest way to catch a fish, but of course that's the challenge and the joy of it.
Come on.
Yeah, so I've got a few mates who come up here and specifically target those little black marlin on fly on these flats. Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's the only place in the world you can do that. And if you're keen to have a go, there's a really good guide up here based out of Hervey Bay. Hervey Bay Fly and Sport Fishing. Andrew Chorley's his name.
Little chopper to be released.
So look him up and he'll be your best chance to put you on a fish.
There you go. Oh, he's a good one. He's a cropper. He's a beauty. You gonna keep him or release? We got more fish than we can eat.
Just for the photo.
Yeah, so after brekkie, we went back to that spot and you can see all the bait on the surface.
That's a Watson's leaping bonitos. This is going to be the perfect shark bait. Yeah. So it's head down, you see? They eat it head first.
Yeah, so before we knew it, we hooked up.
Bit through the 250 pound multi-strand wire like it was mono.
Anyway, with no tuna going on, we decided to get back into the creek for the afternoon. Enjoy some whale watching along the way. Yeah, so as you can see, the tide was very low, but we just got in. Couldn't get around to our normal spot on the north bank, so we just stayed in this little hole on the south bank and enjoyed the sashimi, and of course the dingoes could smell it. So while the boys had a flick, I walked over to the usual anchorage there behind T-Bing. So that little camping area is called T-Bing. You can't get there by car, and you do need to book if you want to camp there. And another thing to be aware of, sandflies are unbelievably bad here. You do go home smelling like Erogard and coils, but do not burn a coil in your boat if you think you got fuel vapor. And would you believe those two massive tuna, we ate the lot of them. Sashimi and pretty well breakfast, lunch and dinner. Nothing wasted. So another beautiful morning in Wathumba Creek, waiting for the tide to slowly come in, and then we were going to head home back to Brisbane. Yeah, so that little spot there, we're anchored on the southern bank. That hole there is probably deeper than the T-Bing anchorage these days. The only problem is if you got a bit of sou'wester through the night on a high tide, you get a bit of wave action coming through this spot. But with enough tide now, all the campers were leaving, coming out of the creek. And even though it looks about ankle deep there, it's actually about thigh deep. It's so clear, that water. And we had barely got out of the shallow water and we came across this beautiful humpback whale with feeding its calf. How good are these conditions? I love the run back to Urangan from Wathumba Creek, especially when it's like this.
Fight for hours just to please you. You don't know
One of the whale watching boats.
Yeah.
This is Urangan Harbour.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and click the subscribe button and the notifications so you know when I've uploaded next. And by the way, here's the boys when they got their first double longtails. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.